Are there comms in this?
No, I don't talk.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's solo queue. Okay, so you have King Cobra,
Yeah.
GB, KTV, NATO. What are those summoners?
Yeah, I think he was trying
Holy,
to. I think he was trying to take Flash Exhaust, but didn't switch in time.
nice,
He actually makes some interesting teleport plays.
nice.
And then the Shyvana insta-locked jungle at second pick, and I insta-locked too, and then he ended up going top. So
Gotcha.
classic solo queue. So I asked him to start wolves because
Sit in the brush if you're just gonna sit there and type. Just because like you don't want to give them information if they peek.
okay. I'm afraid of getting caught typing in the bush. But yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Is there? Could you turn your mic up?
Let me see.
I turn
Yeah,
my volume up too. It's pretty.
my mic's at max. It
Nice.
doesn't go
No,
anywhere.
it's my volume's pretty low. It's like 50.
I asked him to do wolves because I want to do 3 camp scuttle.
Yeah.
Or that's what I plan to do.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you F key or no?
To snap the champions? No.
Yeah. Oh, you should definitely be doing that. What you could rebind to just like F1, F2, F3, F4 instead of having F1 be on you because you can just spacebar. So just F1, F2, F2, F3, F4, and like you take a mental note. So it's like actually this is really organized. So like F1 is top, F2 is mid, and then this would be your bot lane. And you get like so much information out of it. Just start practicing it. It's not like going to come super quick at first, obviously, and like it'll take time to master. But it's honestly so worth it when you do, and like you get so much information off of the map when doing it. So you actually luck out because Rek'Sai is a jungler who could do all this solo, obviously. And
Yeah.
then like here, if you watch mid, let's say, while you're peeking this, like you don't need to be necessarily looking at it after this cooldown based on your auto attacks. So you can just like F2 and monitor for a little bit what's going on, like what way is Ahri manipulating the wave, etc. And can catch out maybe either where her jungle's moving through, or just like her tendencies in lane, and catch like
Okay.
cooldowns, especially too. Like in a Ahri versus Cassiopeia matchup, the level 2 can actually get really volatile. So let's say you want to watch this and your teammate isn't like timing the summoner or whatever it may be, or you want to time the summoner yourself a little more accurately instead of them having to do it like after the trade is already complete and whatnot. Um,
Okay.
so this is good. Rek'Sai can especially do this even with half health because like if you were to be contested, then you could see it before him. If I were you, I would don't just ignore
Yeah.
this and go straight top. You did
Yeah, I'm
okay.
going straight top, and then yeah.
Based on top. So you saw it based on
Yeah, he just
like the
gets
mini
killed.
map. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw it in the mini map, but you could have also seen it by using F keys earlier there.
Yeah.
Considering Shyvana doesn't have flash, I would stay.
Yeah, he doesn't have teleport. I
Or
understand.
teleport. I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
Doesn't have flash either, but yeah.
Yeah, true. So this is actually pretty good XP. Like, you obviously know that your blue buff is not going to be there if the jungler knows what they're doing on the other side. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
really
they.
matter because you're
Yeah.
Rek'Sai. Yeah, you just concede that and then reset the timer based on whether or not he took the whole camp. And then here you can actually, like, if you're F-keying here again, so you can just spacebar back when you want to E when your Fury bar gets higher. But if you watch down here, it can also tell you a lot about the way bot lane plays, especially can tell you a lot about where the enemy jungler is. And you also didn't really check to note if their bot lane did golems or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's also pretty huge.
Yeah. Generally in solo queue. Well, I guess it was Lisa in this game. I should be more aware because a lot of solo queue junglers just do the same path over and over.
Hmm.
I just kind of mental note. If like depending on when the bot lane gets there, I just make a mental note whether they did golems or leashed or not. You can generally just tell when
Oh
they get
wow,
to.
this is still up.
Yeah, I can't believe. I didn't believe it was still up
What?
here. I don't know
Wait,
what he was
versus
doing.
who? Lee Sin?
Lee Sin, yeah.
Oh
I'm not
man.
sure. I guess he started bottom side, and by the time I showed, he was already top side, and he just didn't
Oh,
feel.
one more thing you should definitely be doing is tabbing more often, just to check up on CS and
Okay.
um main waves, whatnot, and itemization of your lanes.
This is the epic flash recall.
Nice. What?
Oh man.
All right, mistakes were made. What is he
Mistake.
doing? Oh, okay. I was gonna say he doesn't have flash, but okay. So now what you do is you check mid and you say, okay, is Ari low? So you F key quick
Okay.
into mid, and then you say, okay, is Ari low? Um, has she used her potions? Can I get a successful gank off? If so, obviously don't go through here. You can snake your way around here, and depending on how low she is and how, so Cassiopeia is pretty healthy, and how low Ari's mana is, you can tell whether or not she'll be basing soon. If she will be basing soon, then you can just do full clear and head your way up top or base after a full clear, because your bot lane will be backing with this HP.
Okay.
Um, and if she's not going to be basing soon, and you like ask your Cassiopeia, okay, how close to 6? And she says she's pretty close, then you can try to pull off a successful gank here, because with stun, if Ari faces, and if you get the knock up right after and change the CC well enough, then you guys can definitely get a kill.
Yeah, for sure.
Just ignore him, let him do it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Take your camps, otherwise your timing would be a little off.
Do you think I should have helped bot lane push here?
No, it's fine because it's sitting at their tower, and it's actually their job to push that wave out and then recall. They should not be staying there. That's way too dangerous because of the bush cheese. Like even though it's incredibly likely that Jinx and Alistar based, they do have summoners down, and like they could have just bush cheesed. But even if they wanted to do this, I would just base because by the time this minion wave would hit down bottom, this is actually like stuff you don't necessarily need to know because it's side lane wave management, but it does help. Like everything helps as a jungler, obviously, when
Yeah.
it comes to information like this. So if they would just leave this wave here, then it would stay almost frozen. It'd be like half frozen, and they wouldn't actually lose that much out on it. And then they would just utilize Graves' power spike based on how much better he uses AD at this stage of the game than Jinx would technically, and how much their lane wins because they have a range support. That's a really good word, so I like that. But the weird thing about this pathing, okay, is before, like we said, if you can't do anything mid, a full clear here actually is really good for you. So you see a lot of junglers, like, if this were rush or move, they would have went for the full clear and then based.
Yeah.
Um, so unless you're like you have your Bjergsen in the mid lane, obviously Mini's very good, and we want to be a mid-centric team where you're like a warding bitch boy. Then that's the only time where this would not be correct. But because we're just standard NACS team and like our philosophy is around making correct movements and getting everyone ahead, this is what you want to do. So the full clear would definitely be what you want to do. And don't mind this ward as much because you see Cassiopeia is playing like mid to top centric.
Okay.
You can place that word later on. Especially because you saw also Lee Sin was like here when you were doing Gromp,
Yeah.
and he was moving up towards here, so he's probably not going to revisit for a while.
Oh, he ganked mid and then left to the left side. That's why I went in for that ward.
Oh, gotcha. But again, if he's going to be on that left side, this ward is not as
Yeah.
important right now, and because Cassiopeia is not in the lane.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Alistar TP top for this gank. I'm pretty sure. It was
What
pretty
the hell?
interesting.
You should have part of your camera down here, because Ari could have escaped onto there as well. So I would take this camp and base.
I think I do race after to get level 6 and then I base.
Okay, no problem. I can see the XP bar because of the YouTube thing. I would have, if you're gonna base, also, I would have saved your smite for the wraiths, because the vision denial
Oh yeah,
buff
vision. Yeah,
would be
for sure.
more important in this scenario, especially because Rek'Sai obviously doesn't need help clearing.
Yeah.
Which smite do you go for?
Blue.
Okay. That's fine, especially versus a Jinx and with an Alistar that doesn't have flash to help with the peel.
Yeah, I don't really like red smite. I think
Red
that's
Smite's alright if they have like a hyper carry comp that they're going to protect.
yeah. It depends on the peel. I don't always find it super useful because if you get peeled off instantly, then the smite isn't too good. But
Okay, so I actually thought that by going Hunter's Machete plus Ruby, you were going to get an early Sightstone. If I were you, if you're going to go for the Bammies, just go for the Smite. Because by now, you're actually losing a bit of effective gold that you would be having from upgrading your Smite.
okay. I'm not actually sure what compelled me to buy boots so early this game. I usually don't buy boots early.
It helps with map movements, especially against the Lee Sin. Like, this matchup is very high pressure early game. Okay, so you know that this ward is here. If you can, sneak this green ward into around here, like even into the red buff. As long as this gap is covered, you have your bot lane covered on every angle except for a lane gank. And Alistar doesn't even have flash to help with a lane gank.
Okay.
And here, yeah, like, so you would ward here, and then you'd be down bot lane just in time for this gank. And it would be, like, actually a double kill.
Yeah, I think we get a double
Oh
kill.
yeah, the timing isn't bad. Okay, nice. But see, like, if the enemy
Yeah.
bot lane hadn't been absolutely,
Stupid. Yeah.
yeah,
That would
like,
have been a
some type of
difficult
way
game.
there,
Yeah.
that one, like, split second can make a world of difference.
Yeah.
So this dragon is good. I hope Cassiopeia doesn't stay for it. Okay, that's
Does
fine. Yeah, good. Good.
you think it's worth using my green ward here to ward over really soon, or just kill him if he comes
No,
in? And...
just stand here. Just position
Oh.
here. Yeah,
Okay. I
definitely
should.
position over here.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I missed the smite too. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. Mechanics are definitely very rusty this game. Gets better as the game goes on, but
That's
definitely
fine.
was feeling the rust.
But yeah, you didn't have vision over it, and then you didn't even pull it. So the correct move would have
Yeah.
been either to pull it or to stand in front of it.
Yeah, definitely. That was really iffy.
No worries. Here, because you have, like, this pressure, you just saw her use a ton of cooldowns. You can get into this fog of war, and then slip down, go through river, and green ward that wraith bush
Oh
that you
yeah, I
green
definitely
warded
should have.
last time.
Yeah, I definitely should have green warded
Especially
here.
because, yeah, you know Lee Sin backed, and the time is
Yeah.
around 9:44. So
Yeah.
based on where he started, he could be going to this buff.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't think about it at the time. It's definitely the right plan.
That's just another, like, Windows thing where once you start picking up on it, you'll get the window for getting that ward down or, like, getting a gank at the right time. It just takes time. And then if you see this, you should definitely be F-keying because, again, you can see summoners that the enemy team uses. You can check ultimates too. Most people in solo queue, like 99% of solo queue, won't time ultimates correctly at a certain time, but you could given this information. This, yeah, Thresh's map movements are actually pretty good. Um, Never seen someone counter teleport support this well, but then again, I rarely see a teleport support.
Yeah, he's an
Oh
analyst.
man, dude, this guy's an animal.
He does
Who
some
is he?
analyst work at Cosmic Death.
I've never heard of him.
Oh, yeah, he does some analyst work in it.
Nice, very nice. This is incorrect. So wait, where did Shyvana just? Okay, she TP'd mid for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
think there was that much pressure on the tower at the time.
there
But
was
the correct
pressure.
move here would be to sit in this bush because especially with her W speed up after she clears this wave, she could just come back up top if you don't push this wave. and you have your blue buff up. Your blue buff timing needs to be, and this is something you should practice in solo queue, because although, especially in NA solo queue, and like a not this Hive challenger yet, blue buff becomes so important, like in scrims and in competitive play. So you can, like, that if, let's say, Mini is going up against someone who he's even with in skill and they're in an even matchup, blue buff can turn the tide of the whole thing. Or even if he's in a little bit of a deficit and you know that Ari had her blue buff a little earlier, so it'll be expiring soon. So if you give this mid laner a blue buff while Ari's like blue buff timing was earlier and she didn't get to really do anything with it, now King Cobra has the ability to do something with that blue buff against Ari and just be able to spam.
Okay. Do you know that guy in particular?
King Cobra? Oh yeah, I used to play with him. I was somewhat in his MMR bracket. I think I've played with him like 2 or 3 times in solo queue, but not anymore. I'm like fucking D4 right now. And Graves got free farm down bot, which is pretty sick. I don't know what happened to Jinx. She should have been back by then. Always W before you recall for the regen.
Okay. Yeah.
You do not tab at all, do you? Holy moly.
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how much I have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get a lot of information off tab. I spam it a lot. You should have waited for, so this
Yeah, I
lantern
should have
came out
waited
and
for
then you,
lantern.
yeah.
I should have waited for lantern. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, that would have been a kill.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
it
actually
still
get the
is.
skill.
Okay.
No, we
No,
don't.
it's not. Wow.
Yeah, I should have waited for lantern.
Unlucky. Yeah.
My E was like already casting. I should have just waited there. That's one of those plays that would work in a team environment when there's communication.
Sitting there was not. There's no reason to do so. You don't have
I
backup.
was,
You
I
can't
was
get
just looking for a
buffers.
pink.
Hmm.
I was just looking for the pink ward, making sure I didn't miss
Oh,
it.
okay. I would do Gromp while Cassiopeia cleans up mid, and then ping blue. This is good. The pathing's pretty good. I still would like to see you FK. Just to, even if you FK down here to see the lane and see like, okay, is Graves freezing it? Like, did he pull the lane, and is he trying to freeze it? Is he trying to push it? Meaning, you'll have to keep checking your ult to see if the cooldown will be up in time to help him out if he falls into trouble. Because I think you just had vision of about 3 of their team members down here, so they could still double team him at this point. Oh, I predicted Mad Life. You should have just flayed. So if you see him ducking into here and down through the lane, you can just, especially because you have Cinderhulk, Ruby, and Boots, like you're good. You have mobility and you have tankiness. You can just move up and ward this bush right here.
Okay.
Or if you had the timing on their blue, you could time their blue. Or ward their blue, my bad. Not blue, but obviously this intersection, you know, the cross.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because Lee would more than likely either go down here, which he did, or loop back around Wolves and then into Gromp and then base. Those were his only 2 options. Nice. That is so frustrating. Tell me you get this kill. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you have max.
Oh,
Yeah, you have max. Of course. Nice.
That was very sad.
So you see, you're already like super big when it comes to kills and assists and even farm.
Yeah.
But if you had efficiently farmed the way, once or twice, like we caught you out, wasting a little bit of time, and you did, let's say, that full clear and whatnot, you'd have even more gold. So you'd be as
Yeah.
big as you are right now. You'd be even bigger.
Yeah, for sure. Solo queue, I tend to put a lot of priority on going to lanes where minions are dying the tower, or just like pushing waves when people get caught. It's the
Yeah,
main
of
way I
course,
get at it.
but that option won't always be available, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like I've learned to like whenever I just see it, I just like go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because like playing like fives makes you, uh, you learn to appreciate that bonus like free EXP from lane and
Yeah,
stuff a lot
the
more.
XP and gold.
Yeah. And I meant to recall here, and I don't realize I didn't hit it.
What an animal.
Yeah, I was just like,
What?
why am I not base? Yeah.
The mechanical genius.
Yeah.
That's called the long con.
Yeah.
I would go for. Okay, Sightstone's fine. Yeah, the way this game's
Yeah.
playing out, it's fine. Especially considering they still have 2 outer towers.
Yeah, in solo queue, I generally build Sightstone based on how the game's going. In fives, I build it every game, usually either right after Cinder if I'm fed, and if not, right after jungle item.
Yeah.
Really just depends on the game's going. I was pretty fed this game.
I would.
Uh,
Oh, you don't have to sweep the bush. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because you didn't have that. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I would sweep the bush, but I thought you smited wraiths.
I
Oh,
feel.
he needs to cancel that TP. What?
I don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
This guy made the game so much harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, the insta-lock shift jungle. Oh, flash on her? Nice.
This is pretty sad, boys. Oh wait, never mind. This isn't the fight.
Okay. I would have actually backed out on Jinx. Even though you can get the kill, it's not worth the risk if she has a summoner up, which she didn't. But you didn't know that because no F keys. Rip.
I'm
Oh
actually
boy.
amazed that this
Oh boy.
works.
Oh boy. Nice. So here you should be thinking about 10 seconds beforehand. What am I gonna do next? You should proactively you should be thinking what am I gonna be doing within the next 2 to 3 minutes. So you should be tabbing, like checking back dragon timer, um, asking about summoners, alts, like checking alts here.
Yeah, I
Just getting as
definitely.
much information as possible, and then think if your ult was up, let's say, like where am I gonna ult to? What's my pathing going to be after I ult? And like what's the next objective gonna be? What should my team be doing with the minion waves in regards to what the next objective is? And so on and so forth. Holy shit, man.
Yeah. There's so many mechanical misplays in
The
this game.
smooth criminal.
I was like wondering whether I even wanted to. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
What? Okay,
Lives.
nice. That's a good reaction. I wouldn't be on this side. You have this ward here protecting this flank. So you know something won't come from river behind you if you can move back and just safely move into your blue buff. But again, blue buff needs to be a little more priority than you're putting into it.
Okay.
Oh, also always sweep that wraith bush before you
Before I. Okay.
smite. Yeah. Check up on Shyvana. Yeah, F key would have been so much more efficient. Like just time wise, you would have seen that way earlier instead of having to like pan over. And then you should have also checked it before you committed your tunnel over this wall, because you could have used it to get to the other side quicker, depending on how much help she needed.
A lot of the like timing, like dragon stuff, I don't put as much attention to in solo queue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you practice how you play.
You practice it.
Exactly.
It's like it just depends on the day, really. Like if I'm like some days I'll be solo queuing after scrims, I'll be tired, I won't pay attention to that stuff. Some days I'll be like warming up in solo queue. And I'll
Yeah,
like
a really good way to get over, or to like strengthen yourself for situations where like tilt might arise, let's say in a best of series or whatever, is after scrims if you're playing solo queue, still keep practicing that. No matter how tired you are, just keep practicing good habits over and over. Don't upgrade into Kindle Gem or Cleaver on your next back. This should be a Boots buy next.
Don't think I do it. I think I get boots real late this game.
Oh man. Again, a situation where F keys would have been quicker. Good. Very good. That's good focus. Whew. Oh! Shafted buddy there, huh?
Yup.
Yeah, you gotta watch for that kick. And obviously, you know, in
I didn't think
hindsight.
he had kick because I didn't pan over in time for this
Oh,
fight.
okay. Yeah.
I thought it was used, so my bad.
Mhm.
I play a lot of Lee. I actually wanted to play Lee this game, but he picked it away from me.
Yeah. He's in an okay spot. You have to be very, very good with him to make him work though.
Yeah, Lee is.
It
Yeah,
used to be
I feel.
like it used to be every jungler played Lee. He was god of jungle. Like even
Yep,
if you weren't
I miss
as
those
efficient with
days.
him, he still did work. But in this meta, you have to be like
I miss those
all your
days.
timings from before. If you were playing Lee, would have mattered so much more.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel so much more comfortable on Lee. Just the experience thing. I don't really enjoy Rek'Sai. It's kind of just like a I have to play it. It's broken kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's
I
like
would have.
it's like yeah.
I would definitely have gone Mercs, especially because I don't think Renekton has that much armor right now, and the way the way this team fights is it's like full in, okay? Because Graves is an ADC that can do fine without all the peel, and especially against a champ like Renekton who is just like a fucking punching bag and fights. Um, you and Shiv can just go all in, and then Thresh can help peel for the Cassiopeia, and Graves sits behind Thresh. So it'd be like, let's say this is the enemy front line, this is the enemy back line, one player here, whatever. And then you have Shyvana, and she dragons in, and then you'd be like around here, providing like some peel, but then also front line. I'm hoping that she built tanky enough to be able to do this, because that's the correct thing to do, to lend to their team, but she did have Cinderhawk, so I'm thinking so. And then Cassiopeia would be around here. This would be actually a couple more units than it looks on the screen, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you would like move up, target after target with Cassiopeia. So you get knock up, and then once your burrow's back up, knock up if you can, etc. And just move one after the other. And be able to soak all that CC. And then with like, let's say if you got Warden's Mail, you can also eat some of Jinx's rocket damage. And actually not be taking like any damage from it because of how strong defensive itemization versus ADCs is right now. And then Thresh would be like here, Graves would be like here, and you guys just move up slowly like that.
I don't think we
So
ever have a standard 5v5 fight in this game, unfortunately.
nice. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You have to plan for if an organized fight does happen, and if it doesn't, then your itemization is still most likely incredibly efficient still, based on your scenario. Was this your pink ward?
No, I think that was Thresh's.
Okay, because that pink ward should go here at the edge of the bush.
Yeah. Yep. I'm a
Holy.
god. Don't have to tell
Try to
me.
smite it a little later so that you get a little longer duration on it.
Oh, okay.
And also, you could have even pink warded this, considering you don't have red trinket up, to make sure that you wouldn't blow your wraith buff on it. Oh, this timing! Holy moly!
Yep.
If this is up and they have no idea, just alt right down to it. You could have actually done it about 5 seconds ago and started it. And if you see this push here, because of all of them coming out of Fog of War, then you just flank and assist your team mid. And even though Shyvana doesn't have TP, if Thresh notices your movement up here, especially, I'm guessing if he's an analyst, should be able to get the macro down to help you guys out.
I'm not sure how I see that
So
word.
yeah, since you have a ward, and you just saw a lot of them go dark into this part of the map, just ward Nasher. Don't even fucking sweep this, and then ult right down to probably this one.
I think
Cause
they killed
here,
Dragon like right
yeah,
here.
to the bottom one of this. Because if you do that, then with your tremor senses, you can see effectively if whether or not they're doing dragon. While at the same time not being in the line of danger. And again, burrow when you get the
Yeah,
chance
road.
before basing.
The epic Alistar teleport.
What a legend. No, no!
I should not have
How does
gone.
this work out? Okay. So if you see Alistar here, this play, because you guys don't have a lane ward for some reason in here, this play becomes incredibly dangerous. Because you didn't see anything in the Fog of War, and because you opted to go into Cleaver second, even though you have a lot of HP with 2 carries here and a Lee Sin, you can still melt really quick. And then instead of going 1 for 0, your team ends up trading 1 for 1. Thankfully Shiv has TP, and this probably ends up going really well for you guys because you're so big, but also you do have. Is that you or Graves has red? Oh, no one has red. That was just your Cinderhawk, I guess. I saw incorrectly. But yeah, like I said before, you would want to go on to Alistar, get the knockup on him first, because he's way overextended relative to his team. And then maybe burrow back, and because his team would have to be clumped in here, then you can get the 2 to 3 man knockup. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So then.
I think just in the splits. I think my decision making there is just in the split second.
Oh
I
man.
thought they'd hold the Alistar off.
This is just straight camera work. Okay, this is good because. So now you see why I ask for OBS instead of like just standard stuff. Because with laners, I would work on DI a lot more than I'm working with you on DI. But here, this is like awful camera control. Because you have no information on this entire part of the screen. Yeah, it's taking up at least
Okay.
50%.
Okay.
So yeah, you wanna pan up. Because you didn't even see Renekton there.
Yeah.
Is this the sad boys fight you were talking about?
I think so.
I don't know why he cleansed. He had no hope.
I think this is the worst fight we take all game.
Hmm?
I think this is the worst fight we take all game.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
How did we lose so far? Yeah, because
I love when people ask that.
yeah. Well, yeah, his TP was perfect in that given scenario because you were so overextended away from your back line, so you can get the knockup down on him.
Yeah, at least then also got kicked into the Yari. I mean, the Graves got kicked into the Yari.
You don't necessarily want to go like way into the back line like that unless you have flash. You know the other super tank will be backing you up incredibly soon. And you know that your backline can manage their front line at the time, which, like you just said, Renek is huge, right? So your backline does need that help dealing with him.
Oh, I just meant in the. Because the way the fight started, the Alistar went in with ult on our backline, and I
Yeah, of
didn't
course.
think
So
they
then you
needed
knock up
help.
the Alistar, and you expect that another frontliner will be coming, and then you don't go into that fog of war, like I had mentioned before.
By the time the Renekton and the Lee Sin entered the fight, we just got fucked because
Yeah,
Graves got.
all the cooldowns
Yeah.
were down, and your
Yeah.
team didn't know to disengage because it's solo queue, and you
Yeah,
don't
he just.
necessarily have a shot caller right there unless you like to spam ping.
Not sure what
Holy
happens.
Okay, you can't really do anything here. Other than, yeah, base. I would just base and get another cloth.
I think I buy a health crystal.
Yeah, health crystal's okay, because Ari's pretty big.
Epic flash headbutt. I'm not sure what happens here actually.
She has Bork. Oh my god, I actually just face palmed.
I think we actually returned this.
Okay. You could have smited him.
Yep.
This is good. This is very good. This is exactly what I was talking about before. So you this time around you had the right camera movement and thus like the right conscious to move up there and assist. Oh, nice. Now you want to move out of like so you got this knock up. Lee Sin Q will not kill you. It'll take you to like
Yeah, I'll be fine.
here maybe. Yeah. And then but Ari's cooldowns are maybe 2 or 3 seconds, so you want to move right, like you want to DI right instantly after you get that knock up down. Yeah, that's dangerous. She just dipped the fuck out though. She didn't want any of it. Base, 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 base. After, yeah, that's fine. If you want to sweep her that bush, but I would say base, and now with your extra gold, upgrade your trinket, and
Not sure what I buy on this
you
base.
can get Randuin's components.
What am I doing? Oh, I'm taking the red buff, yeah. Don't give it to
You
Graves.
could have based by now, and then just been like just about halfway back into this part of your jungle. The reason that, let's say in this scenario, okay, it's not mid game in an area where your mid laner really needs blue. Your ADC is down bot, so he's not going to get red. You don't necessarily need red right now because you just had a really good team fight and you can hold it off for a little bit. And because of the really good team fight, you have all this vision where you'll know if someone goes into your jungle to try to steal. So you could have just based, and like this back timing is incredibly late. Basing should be looked at as a timing attack.
Okay.
And if you holy
Yeah,
what?
I hate this. It's Windows 8.
Yeah, I have Windows 8 too. It's ridiculous. You try opening up a picture and
Oh
a
yeah.
screenshot or something, and it like fills up your entire screen. But anyway, yeah. So when you look at it as a timing attack, then you realize how urgent it is for you to accomplish like your tasks and your goals earlier when it comes to basing there. And even if let's say you can't finish the Giants belt, who gives a shit? League is more about the timing that it takes, setting it up, and then the way you execute it, more so than the difference in HP between a Ruby Crystal and a Giants belt.
Okay. I don't think I ever
Also,
find.
you should have, yeah, like you wouldn't have had enough gold if you hadn't like farmed the golems or whatever you had just done before you based to get this Giants belt, but that's fine because the correct move would have been to go Ruby Crystal and upgrade your red trinket so that it's up sooner and you get bigger range on it because with this, like this is fucking beautiful. Even though this ward right here should be moved up to like maybe here or something. To get more information because this is useless. They're in the same exact spot just about. Um, and because you have all this vision control, and then if you check to see, okay, when's dragon, it should be, I think, within 3 minutes or so. I can't recall exactly because of our review, we pause and whatnot. But yeah, so you can get complete vision denial as well as this already beautiful vision control around objectives, and that's where the game gets really dangerous for the enemy team. What? Shyvana just like has a complete disregard for the map and is so okay with using her ult to get out of there when she wouldn't have even had to. That's so incorrect. Don't ever use a cooldown that you don't need to use, which seems like common sense, but someone is apparently pretty high MMR and doesn't fucking know it. Yeah, this is. I don't think I've seen you tab once this game. You have, and not only that, but Riot just updated it so that you get the timer on Dragon even if you don't see it, and you
Yeah.
haven't been checking on the Dragon timer whatsoever.
Yeah.
Stay in that tremor senses. There's no reason to come back out. Because if you stay in tremor senses and move your camera down, you just saw them escape into this fog of war, like around here.
Yeah,
Lee Sin and
I
Ari.
wasn't paying attention to the fact that the wolves were down, and I came up to actually kill them.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
sure
then
Dra-
here I would say while you're farming that, you just pan your camera down to there so that once you burrow back in, you can see if someone is waiting over that wall. That's you have to give that up, yeah.
Yep.
Which shouldn't happen, because ideally, if you had kept looking at the timer and told your team about it and communicated with them,
Yeah, that would have been. We actually would have been in position, most
mhm,
likely.
just base for wards. Yeah, just base for wards on your sightstone. And upgrade your trinket here.
I upgraded eventually. I don't remember when. It's one of the,
Yeah,
another one of
it's when
those.
your team is that ahead in map pressure, you definitely want to have your
Yeah,
trinket
it's one of
upgraded.
those things I don't value as much in solo queue. Most of the time, at least.
Um, so in this specific scenario, um, and actually in a lot of scenarios, um, it's not as much about whether it's solo queue or competitive. It's more about what's correct.
Yeah, I understand that.
Mm,
Like when I buy like in solo queue, it's kind of just like a if I'm carrying like do I want this red trinket upgrade red trinket or do I want to finish like this item and then like as far as like solo queue goes I know it's not the correct choice because like goal efficiency wise but it's kind of a, just like I don't trust my team I just want the extra stats for myself kind of thing.
yeah, but at the same time, you see that when you take a loss for the team, it also becomes a loss for you when, let's say, you lose Dragon, or
Yeah,
now this part of the map is dark, and you don't know whether or not they have vision of it because you didn't have your upgraded trinket, and you could have basically like swept wherever you were before, like in this vicinity, and then you could have moved along with that Oracle's vision into like Nasher Pit and into there before it ran out.
yeah, it's definitely scenario to scenario.
So what do you get with that? Null magic, Spirit Visage.
Uh,
It's
um, Banshees I think.
okay. Banshees works wonders against Ari because the way Ari has been played more recently, it's kind of like TF where she'll use her charm, whereas like TF will use his gold card, and him in the AD carry or her in the AD carry will go target to target.
Yeah.
So if you have Banshees and she has to use one of her super important cooldowns to knock that Banshees out, then she can't help Jinx as much with the other cooldowns. Oh, no way. Okay, I was gonna say, that looked juicy as hell.
Yeah. I really wanted the flank here, but I was boarded out apparently.
Hmm. Yeah, Eing over there, in that scenario would have been really incorrect. Okay, this is good. This is really good.
Yeah, this fight is a mess.
Oh my god. Okay, so when you see... So this is happening on the minimap, okay? Consider this. Dragon will not be up for like 5 minutes. Alright? This chase on Jinx, okay, you use your smite, whatever. She has to keep going on the run, and Shyvana's here to threat. So what you do is you and Shyvana dip out of here. You see that your teammates are struggling currently with two of their teammates, or two of their team members, and you know that Renekton has teleport. So what you do is after you reach about here, and then she got into this crevice, and Lee Sin like has his kick, she has her E, you say fuck it, and you go to the left side of the map, you help your team clean this up, Dragon's not even close to up, and you can quasi-ace them, basically. Even if it's just 2 kills, it's when it comes to objective control, it's basically like an ace, because
Yeah.
this Nasher becomes absolutely free.
Yeah.
Um, so you leave, and then you help your backline with this, because these aren't important anymore. You're not playing to get this kill, you're playing to win the game. And so you want to go back, help them out, and get the Nasher. Super easy. Okay, that's fine. I guess. You meant to attack her, didn't you? And you
The
went to
Jinx?
tunnel? Yeah.
No, no, I actually meant the tunnel.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because she was one shot, but since Shyvana has Bork, she's actually doing a lot more damage than expected. What? Where did Renekton TP to that they lost that 3v3?
I don't think he TP'd. I think he was bottom farming and he walked up.
Oh, yuck. He had it. Oh well. Yeah, this is... Just go. Yeah, just go up. This is pointless. I would just even ult up to that and then move it. Yeah. But this is, again, like 5 or 6 seconds late.
Yeah. I agree.
Leave that up for Graves. Don't take this. There's no point. Just go back and get your items so that you can leave the base as soon as your teammates do. If you still had ult, then you could do this and be reckless with your timing because of like the way the game is playing out, when they'll be leaving their base and when your team will be leaving their base. But again, this is a thing where if you say you don't trust your teammates, or even if you did, the correct thing to do would be to base with them and move up with them.
Okay.
So this is on 45-second cooldown. Your teammates within this elo will be smart enough to know that like they can't stick around too long around hard engage. So let's say if they know that Alistar's Righteous Glory is up, whatever, they're making the correct movements. So they're like retreating, and you see that this is building up and slow pushing into your team. By the time you get down here, say this is on like 13-second cooldown if you're using your W and your E. And so you can actually become a pretty effective split pusher with this, and with how hard you push with your Cinderhulk and your Q AoE. And then if anything goes down, then you have tunnels up here if your team bails into there, or if your team chases into there. You have tunnels here, even if they take them out soon. You can even tunnel up here for like a quicker recovery to get back to your team. But yeah, the correct move there would definitely be to go into bot because of the slow push, especially considering like Shyvana has Baron buff, so even if she overextends, she can just AFK, I guess. Um, she can just base, and your team was retreating correctly. I would smite this. Ground
I
buff is
think I
pretty
do.
nice versus a Jinx. Yeah, time it a little better. Just check and make sure that you'll get it right about at the
Oh yeah,
like.
I was considering whether to smite it or not. That's why I thought it'd be worth it. Oh, this is hilarious. You
Watch your
like?
teammates. Watch your teammates. Like this is okay. Um, within this scenario, but definitely watch your teammates and pull these to here instantly. As soon as you get over the wall, before you even start attacking them, pull them here first, so that just in case if you need to burrow, because then this would be up and you would be like here, and then Thresh is about to go into her and flay her into here, and then all you have to do is
Yeah,
E and
yeah,
knock her up, and that's insta kill, and that's actually the game won. Even though they end up still having enough burst for it, it's way better to be safe than sorry.
yeah. I agree.
My bad.
I did. I panned over. I think the last like I didn't realize he hooked Jinx, and I
Yeah,
didn't want them to take a 4v5.
pretty godlike. Level 17 Jinx 34 minutes in, and she just throws the game for her team like that. Unlucky. Here you just wait for Alistar to run out. You could have tanked this for maybe an extra second or so that your Graves could keep hitting with the minions. This is good. I wouldn't have E'd out. Definitely don't E out. You can,
Yeah,
even if you have the aggro on you, move to like this step, and then
yeah.
you can
Then
turn
yeah,
and E.
I
Yeah.
got too hasty with leaving.
Hmm.
Pretty sure we end the game here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's getting
yeah,
close.
I think they all just suicide.
Nice. We can watch till end. and then if you have questions and whatnot. Instead of burrowing there, you could have just ulted to this and then burrowed because of how short of cooldown it is now, especially with a Black Cleaver.
Yeah, level 3 ult pretty well.
Mm.
Do you agree with Do you think Black Cleaver is an okay item?
Yeah, like with Cinderhulk, it's fine. You just got it really early. Like if I were you, I would have just sat on Phage and then started getting Rainwind's components, built up my vision game a little bit with the trinket upgrade, got the Sightstone, whatever it may be. Well, you got the Sightstone around the time you got Phage, I believe. But yeah, in general, like Black Cleaver is definitely not a bad item. And on Rek'Sai as well, it's completely fine. But
Do you think it's okay to build in like a competitive setting, or?
yeah. It
Okay.
just depends on the timing in the game, like the scenario when it comes to team comps.
Yeah.
Are they rushing early armor, etc.
Yeah.
Holy crits!
Yeah.
He was bitching about his crits early in the game
Yeah,
too.
he was. Here, I suck at math. But it doesn't
Nice.
really matter.
Uh oh, you got Elixir of Breath. Okay.
I sold my home
At
gold.
some point or another, because of Jinx's hyper carry status, and because you still need
Sell
tenacity
the
versus their team, you could go, yeah, you could sell merch for
elixir of iron.
tabbies and then get get
Oh,
the
I was
elixir
thinking
that gives.
sell. I was thinking sell Sightstone for Thornmail and then buy elixir of iron. I don't like really getting tabby. I think Mertrez
I think,
is
well, the thing is, you could get tabby and get the elixir that gives you tenacity.
yeah, iron.
Yeah,
Mm.
iron. So
You think
I mean,
that's worth it?
you
Oh,
can double stack with. Obviously, you can go double tenacity with this and the potion, but I don't think you necessarily need it, especially with how big your team is and the way you would team fight is just
okay.
knock up, and all you would have to do at this point is just survive. And with how much
Okay.
it reduces her crits, with if you go, do you go 921 or 21-9?
21-9.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Rek'Sai is usually 21-9 regardless, even if you're going tank. Um, so yeah, you do need that help with crits in a scenario like this.
Okay.
And this is a
Tabby.
game where you went 8-2 and 16,
Yeah.
and there's like so much to improve on. So like
Yeah.
imagine,
I knew this was a terrible game.
yeah. So if you,
I was thinking of playing another because there's so many mechanical errors, but
mhm.
I decided not to.
So it's mechanical, and there is still a good amount
Yeah,
of macro that you have to
there's
learn.
definitely a map.
Yeah.
There's definitely a map movement. It's just like there's a lot of criminal mechanical misplays.
For sure. Um, okay. So any questions?
Do you think Warrior is still a viable item on Rek'Sai?
Yeah. It like you'll see Rain overbuilding it occasionally. I think Move or Rush will sometimes build it as well.
Yeah, Rush.
It does depend on, again,
Game.
like let's say, do you have a tank in the top lane? If not, then like let's say if you have a Rumble, um, and you need a little extra physical damage in the mid game, then it's all right. But you have to play a lot more. You have to think a lot more of what each mouse click will do based on how much damage you will take in mid game team fighting. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so because you don't have as much room for error, especially like let's say you had gone warrior this game,
Yeah, it would have been
Jinx would
not
have
good.
killed you a lot quicker in a lot of
Yeah.
those team fights, especially when you like mispositioned the tunnel into like three of them over the wall. You would have
Yeah.
popped really quick. So again, um, the style of team fighting that I told you would be good in this game, Warrior could have actually helped you out with that because you're going from one target to another. But again, you would have to build tank after that, and Black Cleaver would be questionable.
Yeah, I don't ever go Cleaver with Warrior. I don't think
Yeah.
it's.
It
I,
again, it does kind of depend on scenario. Like if their team is incredibly squishy and um, getting like let's say even a little bit of armor pen into them, AoE with the little bit of AD you get from Cleaver and the AD and cooldowns you also get from Warrior, then it's all right. But like you'd have to look at team comps first, obviously,
yeah,
and
definitely.
know how ahead you are, how the game is playing out. So and
There's more of a.
we'll go over that like as I start coming into scrims here and there also, and like if you have questions about itemization, that plays a lot um, into what the team comps are. What's the 5v5 look like? How are team fights gonna look like? What's your role within the game in general and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
21.9 masteries. I think I run 9% attack speed, 11 AD. I'm not 100% sure.
That's fine.
Cooldown. I don't run cooldown runes on Rek'Sai. I don't think they're necessary. Would you agree with that?
Again, that's something that is completely dependent on the game. I would go either MR per level, fully stacked, or let's say you're going to go warrior or visage plus plus cleaver. So you'll have warrior or visage plus cleaver. So you have like 30% with 20% cleaver and then a 10% item. And then you can go, let's say you can dip into masteries for cooldown and then combine it with runes to get a full 40%. Then it can be efficient also. But yeah, I think MR per level is really, really good on a champ like Rek'Sai. Especially in this meta right now with the way AP itemization was changed.
Okay.
Is that what you do? Do you do MR per level or flat?
I do 6 MR per level 3 flat.
Okay, that works. I think I wouldn't take any flat unless they had like some really heavy AP. But if you're playing against like a Lee Sin, and their only magic damage dealer was Ari, I would have definitely went per level.
Yeah, I just don't think I have a page that's all scaling.
Yeah, it's how many rune pages do you have?
I have 19, but
Okay, yeah. So I would say dedicate 2 or 3 rune pages for each jungle champion you'll be playing. Um, so it equates to maybe 15, 16 rune pages for the main champs you'll be playing within your role, and then a couple for if you had to fill. Like there's a super generic, I'm sure you know it, ADC rune page. There's some pretty generic support rune pages that you can run
yeah.
or whatever it may be. And then obviously a lot of top laners also use jungling pages. So
So
um,
wait, who do you think is actually like viable still? Because okay, so there's obviously Rek'Sai Gragas.
Rek'Sai, Gragas,
There's Lee
Nunu,
Sin. You still
Nunu,
think Nunu's viable?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, Especially with this new Zeke's change, it could lead to some interesting things with the different hyper carries.
Echo definitely.
Yeah, Echo Jungle can actually be really good situationally,
Been
and
looking
that
at Elise in the new patch, but not sure
Elise
yet.
in the new patch is nice. Yeah, she's like they switched the level 1 ETH from like 1 second to 1.6 or something.
Yeah, 1.6.
Yeah, that's pretty big. It's like that zero point 0.6 of a second can definitely
That's
make the
huge.
difference
Yeah,
between
it's
yeah a kill
ridiculous.
or just a summoner blown when it comes to early game ganks. So
Yeah.
if you want to practice Elise, I'm all for it. Definitely go for that. And with the new AP itemization changes, you can do some interesting stuff with their different builds. And if you have
I,
questions about them, don't ever hesitate to
do you
ask
think?
on Skype.
Do you think it's necessary to learn Evelyn?
I think she's within like tier 1.5. I don't think it's mandatory to learn her, but again, she can be good in situations. Not in as many situations as like Rek'Sai, Gragas, obviously. Even I think Elise in this patch could actually be tier 1.
Yeah.
Because not only did she get that buff, she also got AP itemization changes, so they all benefit her as well. But I think yeah, if you have extra time to devote to learning Eve, then okay. But other than that, the core couple would be like Rek'Sai, Gragas, Echo, Elise, Nunu. If you're really good at Lee Sin and you fix some of your um, timing attack like bases or some of your jungle routes, then we could play him in scrims or competitive as well. Um, but I would like to make sure you have at least 1 to 2 lanes that are very gankable and
Yeah.
that like your pressure will be incredibly meaningful in.
Yeah,
So
it's
you don't
definitely a
get stuck
situational pick.
CLGX Smithy not fucking ulting for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think Nidalee is necessary still?
Nidalee is good as well. Yeah.
Damn. Because I was learning Nidalee and Eve before I had to take a break, and I never actually finished picking both of those up
hmm
before. I think, yeah, as far as pocket picks, go, I really just have Jarvan, Rengar, Lee Sin, Nocturne, and some Kha'Zix, but I don't think any of them are really still viable.
Yeah. Jarvan's alright. He's still played somewhat in other regions, like here and there. And
Yeah, here and
then
there you see him, but
who else did you say? Oh, Rengar is in a tough spot now.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Nocturne, I don't. I think it's situationally okay.
He is, yeah. Nocturne is definitely situationally alright. If you watch some of like season 4, who
Cacao.
was it? Yeah, Cacao. Season 4 Cacao.
Yeah,
I was like, was it Danny or Cacao? Danny was the Rengar,
Dandy was the
and
ringer. Cacao's
yeah,
Nocturne.
Cacao
Yeah.
was Nocturne. Um, season 4 Cacao was really nice. Like
Yeah.
some of the things he did with the jungle pathing there, and like his synergy with his lanes on that champion were pretty disgusting.
Yeah, that's
This
why
is
I
season 4
picked.
Cacao,
That's
yeah,
right.
within Korea, so within OGN.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I picked Nocturne up in the first place.
nice. Yeah, he's a very
His
high level
Nocturne was
player.
nuts. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't think Kha'Zix is ever viable,
No, not
unfortunately.
anymore.
I'm looking if there's anything else. Do you think there's anything else?
No, that's about it. If you have any questions, yeah, definitely don't hesitate to hit me up on Skype.
um, there's one more thing I think. Oh yeah, I didn't really play much on the Devourer patch. Do you actually think any of those junglers are viable?
Um, as of competitive,
Yes.
it's tough to say because you don't need to be the hard carry coming out of jungle,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and Medeo is pretty good with resources from what I've seen, and Mini is definitely good with resources from what I've seen. Alorim also plays a lot of carries, so yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think, especially with the team style, we would be playing
Okay.
any
Yeah.
Devourer.
Because I prefer to play a more supportive style
Yeah,
way.
definitely.
Oh man, I miss the Kha'Zix Elise Lee Sin meta. That was my meta.
That was the playmaking jungler 1v9 early
Yep.
game.
That's
Yeah.
when I made the name for myself.
hmm
At least, oh, Sejuani is like completely gone from what I've been seeing.
Yeah,
Agree.
the W nerf was like
Yeah,
the nail
the
in the
W nerf
coffin.
was. Oh my god, that was
hmm
nasty.
Yep.
You don't think Vi is very good either, right?
I think in a lot of situations where Vi would be good, Jarvan could be a better
Jarvan is
alternative.
better. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think too.
Just because of the way his zone control works in fights,
Yeah, his
he has
ultimate.
more range with it. His CC can be a little more meaningful depending, and he gets a little more natural tankiness than Vi does.
Yep. Who did you? Were you the one who worked with Oceanic teams before? Or was
Well,
that Syra?
Sarachnos did as